Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Seneca Scout for October 20th. My name is Megan Smelser.
I'm Liz Koromis.
And here we try to give you a look at some stories you may not have heard much about, but we will also catch you up on some important news from the week.
We have a truly diverse array of stories here today. It's all across the board. We got international, we've got national, we've got local, we've got in the district. And those district stories, we have videos for those. As usual, we're going to start tonight with international news.
Earlier this week, 300 people were killed in Somalia after a truck bombing caused by Al-Shabaab, an Islamist militant group that has been battling U.S.-backed forces. The militant group has experienced territorial, financial, and recruitment losses since 2010, when the United States and its coalition began targeting its command structure. But that has not prevented the group from massing to attack military bases or coordinate bombings inside and outside Somalia. The wounded are still being rushed to the countries for better medical care. A State Department official acknowledged that Saturday's truck bomb shows that Al-Shabaab is capable of staging attacks throughout the country, but said the government is making progress in helping Somalia transition from rule by warlords and clans to a federal government with a countrywide reach.
Scientists recently discovered an undetected event that occurred over 130 million years ago. The collision of two neutron stars causing a massive explosion. Evidence of this explosion is just now reaching us due to the enormity of the universe and the time it takes for light to travel. A neutron star is formed when a massive star, such as much bigger than ours, dies and runs out of energy. It collapses under its own gravity and explodes, leaving a dense sphere only 25 kilometers wide. The sphere is composed of almost nothing but neutrons, which are created when protons and electrons fuse together under intense pressure. This object is so dense that one sugar cube worth of the star would have the same weight as Mount Everest. The explosion is so powerful that it created more gold than is found currently on Earth. Explosions on space are common, but one caused by a collision is very rare. Now, isn't that fantastic?
It's fascinating.
That's a lot of gold.
On Monday, the missing bodies of two hikers were found in Joshua Tree National Park in Southern California. The bodies are assumed to be Joseph Orbeso and Rachel Nguyen, who went missing while hiking the trail back in late July for Orbeso's birthday. The couple was reported missing the next day after they failed to check into their accommodations. The bodies were discovered Sunday afternoon by a park ranger in a remote area of the park. The last major search at Joshua Tree Park was back in 2010 when Eddie Rosenthal, 64, was found alive after 6 days of being missing.
Let's move in closer with some more local news. The company known as the Global Switchboard is aiming to connect information about the world and bring it to Pittsburgh. There are many experts on the subject of global importance throughout Pittsburgh, thanks to globally oriented universities like Pitt and CMU, as well as companies like Duolingo and Global Links. Plenty of information of those subjects exist, but finding it can sometimes prove to be difficult. This is where the Global Switchboard comes in. The Global Switchboard is a company that has been providing co-working space for people to connect with different people doing similar work. Their latest project, though, is to provide a digital hub where people who are looking for expertise on a global subject can find a person or company that specializes in that subject. The official launch will be in late 2017, and they will continue to improve the hub afterward for the foreseeable future.
Last weekend was the Zillionople Fall Festival, and Sarah Donaldson was there. Let's check in with Sarah to learn more about the festivities.
My favorite thing about Fall Festival was the horse and the petting zoo.
Vendors and residents line the streets of Zillionople, Pennsylvania on this warmer than average Saturday. It's the weekend of the annual Fall Festival, a major event for the small borough. Fall Festival typically takes place mid-October for one weekend. On one square, local vendors sell items like candles and crafts.
I guess my favorite thing about the Fall Festival is just all the original and unique shops and all the items they have.
On the next square over, a farmer's market is set up to sell local produce while children pet animals in the petting zoo. Civil War reenactments are a fan favorite at the Fall Festival, alongside the various food trucks. This year will be the 33rd year Zillion's hosted Fall Festival, and visitors both new to and familiar with the events attend.
This is my first year at the Fall Festival.
Dorothy Fleming, a Seneca Valley senior, sat outside to promote her mother's toy store on the main street in Zealy.
My favorite part of Fall Festival is working with my friends at my mom's store. Like, I don't know, I think it's so nice, like all like the town comes together and it's like unity of like the town and like tradition and stuff, so.
Everyone seemed to have a different reason to be at the festival.
My favorite part is just coming down with my family and the kids.
My favorite part of Fall Festival is Amish donuts.
But Whatever the reason, it was clear that a large part of the community came out to enjoy the weekend, making for a successful fall festival.
Thank you for that, Sarah. It definitely looked like a great way to start off the fall season. Did you see those cute animals?
They were very adorable. I'm very upset that I wasn't there.
I would have loved to see that dog and that alpaca and every other animal there. That would have been great.
Now we move back to some more serious local news. Beaver County has joined 2 other Pennsylvania counties and many more state and local governments nationwide by suing 23 drug companies for prescribing addictive drugs that are contributing to the continuing opioid crisis. The main complaint accuses the companies of deceptive acts, fraud, unjust enrichments, negligence, misrepresentation, and public nuisance. Purdue Pharma has denied the accusations, stating that it is deeply troubled by the opioid crisis and is dedicated to being a part of the solution. As lawsuits continue to be filed, the drug overdose rate climbs, leading many to wonder if the problem can be solved.
We need to find a solution to that as fast as possible, but it's going to take a long time. Well, we all know that Pittsburgh has become a destination for Hollywood production companies looking to save money, but we also have an established film community rooted here as well. Pittsburgh filmmaker Brian Ferraro is made of one of the biggest sacrifices a person can make in his life. Ferraro, a 31-year-old Pittsburgh resident, has everything on the line, including selling his car to create a dream project, a film called Hereafter. The feature film has been in the works for over a decade when the friend inspired Ferraro with the idea of a horror film based around the uncertainty of dealing with the unknown and a young man with no direction until the death of his best friend. With the help of a local art community, he plans to sell his movie to local cinemas after his production kicks off this November.
We wish Brian good luck, and thank you to the Pittsburgh City paper for information on Brian's efforts. Well, tonight the Raiders football team faces off against Shaler as their season draws to a close. For many people, one of the best parts of the Raider games is seeing the Raider marching band perform. Last week was their senior night, and Liz sat down to talk to some of the seniors. Let's have a look.
I'm Glenn Chum. I'm the band captain. I also play tuba.
I'm Liz. I'm one of the field directors and I play clarinet.
My name is Jessica Yule and I'm the marching and maneuvering captain of the marching band. The biggest problem that the marching band had to face this year was probably motivation. A lot of people weren't putting effort towards, marching and playing at the same time and looking good. I think that was our biggest problem, was motivation.
Honestly, just the motivation after we had set goals and after those were done, people didn't have much motivation. So getting over that.
What were the goals?
Butler Band Fest, Pride Fest.
Band Fest. Yeah.
And then after that, it was kind of downhill from there, but we picked it back up, which was good.
Say senior night was probably our best event because all of the underclassmen really wanted to step up their game for the seniors' last time marching on the home field.
A lot of freshmen have done really, really well this year. So I don't know, I can't pick out one who's been significantly better than everyone else, but all of them I feel haven't been a liability, which is kind of what it feels like most of the time.
Oh, this pains me to say it, but probably the trombones. The trombones were probably the best because they were always in tune, they always knew their music, they always know where they're going. And the trumpets were okay, but trombones really stepped up their game.
We have the parade, the Evans City Parade, coming up for Halloween. And then,
And then we have the Thanksgiving parade.
Thanksgiving parade in Zealy.
No, is that a Christmas parade?
Christmas.
Yeah.
It's right near.
We have parades coming up from here on out. So.
And then the concerts, the band concerts in December.
I sure do love the band. They're great, and I have a lot of friends in them.
Yeah, they're a really nice part to the football game. So good luck to the Raiders tonight.
Yep. Well, that does it for us here. Thanks always for watching. I'm Liz.
And I'm Megan. And this has been the Seneca Scout. We'll
Yep.
see you next time.
Have a good weekend.